Hey everybody. So last week we talked about how to lose $1 million, how it's possible to lose a lot of money, citing different things in the Talmud of how you could fritter away your money. But the Talmud doesn't want you to fritter away your money, they want you to make some money. So as it turns out, this past week in Daf Yomi, we get some advice on how to make money. Very practical. We all need money, we all need assets, we all need things. And they start off basing it on a pasuk, a verse, and very typical of the Talmud, we go beyond just the pshat, the simple definition and meaning of the verses appears in the Torah, and kind of get a symbolic meaning behind it. And the context is when you take money up to Jerusalem from Ma'aser Sheni, second tithes, you're supposed to take up your crops, but realizing that might be difficult to schlep everything all the way up there. So you could redeem those crops on coins, on money, take the money, go to Jerusalem, and with that money buy stuff in Jerusalem, and that way fulfill the mitzvah through that. So the pasuk over there, the verse says that v'tzarata kesef biyadcha, that you should bundle up the money in your hand. Again, the simple meaning is just take the money with you, but they go a little bit further, the rabbis, on this, and they say, based on this, you should always have your money in your hand, meaning when you're in a public place, a place with a lot of people, it's not enough to just have your money in your back pocket there. There could be pickpockets. There could be people who want to rip you off. We know that, unfortunately, is in all situations, and especially in foreign countries, any place with a lot of people. So, always keep your hand on your back pocket over there, or even better, take the money, put it in your front pocket, but make an extra effort with your hands. It should always be available to make sure to keep it from being stolen from you. Another verse, another explanation of this verse, the money should be in your hand, means it should be readily available. Meaning, if your money's tied up in all kinds of major investments, so then you don't have money on hand. Let's say something shows up right away and you need it right away. So you have the money there in your hand, and you can make that investment right away. It also means, we all know, cash is king. You should always have money around. Nobody carries cash anymore. Everything's on the phone. Everything's with a credit card, this, that, and the other. But the bottom line is, sometimes things don't work, shuts down, power outage, whatever, your phone doesn't work. It's always good to have cash. Everybody takes cash. Cash is king. Always have some cash readily available for emergency situations. And then they go further. The Talmud was way ahead of its time in terms of investment. We've all heard diversify your portfolio. That's what they tell you over here. Rabbi Yitzchak says, La'olam yashlish adam et motav, that a person should divide his money into three different things where you should invest your money. Shalish bakarka, a third should be in land. Those are low-risk investments. It's safe. It'll make you some money. Very low risk, you won't lose so much. On the other hand, you should have a third in merchandise, which is more high risk, but the payoff is also higher. And then finally, like we said earlier, you should have a third available to him right there, so he could very quickly make an investment in case it shows up. And then the main thing, I think, which I like to talk about a lot and mention, and there's two statements, they're very similar, and it says, Ein bracha matsui, a bracha doesn't come to a person, ela b'davar hasamui mina ayin. Blessing only comes to a person, it comes to things that are hidden from the eye. And similarly, Ein bracha matsui, blessings only come b'davar she'ein ha'ayin sholetet bo, that the eye doesn't kind of dominate or gaze at it, is what it's saying. And what we're talking about here is, we've spoken about this before, the idea of ayin hara, that you have nice things. Don't be in your face to other people about it. That's the idea of ayin hara. It's something super mystical. It's God gave you a bracha. God gave you a blessing. Very nice. If it makes other people feel bad, so then God has to reassess and rejudge whether or not you're deserving of that blessing that he gave to you. Doesn't mean you have to crawl under a rock and hide everything, but not to be in your face to other people. So blessing comes to things that are hidden. It's also the idea that, there's fads that always come along. Don't go after the fads, the Hevle Hazman. Everyone's running after something. that's not necessarily where bracha, where blessing is. Blessing is usually in the quieter, hidden things, underneath the radar. That's where you'll find more a sense of bracha, of blessing of all kinds, financial and others as well. So a little bit of advice from our Gemara, from our Talmud, from our tradition on not just losing your money, but how to make a little bit of extra. Have a good Shabbat.